After answering a question, this man was appointed as the president. This question was, if two pigs fight against each other, who will win finally? He answered that a pig won. People who were there were so surprised, because he was the only one who had the right answer. It turned out that people here had really low IQ, because people with high IQ didn't want to give birth. Those with low IQ were lazy, but liked to give birth. After time gradually passed, people's intellect has decreased considerably. In order to keep a bit of intelligent gene, people came up with an idea. Let a man and a woman with a high IQ hibernate. That man was the protagonist, Joe, and the woman was Rita. They would be set free to save the world when people's intellect got really low. The hibernate period was planned for 10 years. As this was a top-secret project, so just only one leader knew. But this leader was old and forgetful, so he forgot this. After that, the laboratory was taken down, and the hibernation room was thrown in the trash. 5 years have passed, the population has seen a dramatic rise. But people's intellect has dropped significantly. The pile of garbage has become a mountain of garbage. One day, a garbage truck came to take out the trash. When the last can fell out, the mountain has collapsed and made a flood of garbage. Trash was all over the city. Joe's hibernation chamber has also flooded into Frito's house with the garbage. The hibernation chamber was activated, so the door opened. Frito was watching a mathematics show. He was about to learn 1 + 1 is equal to 3. But Joe came, so he thought that 1 + 1 is equal to 2. He was mad, standing up and throwing Joe out. Joe felt something wrong. He walked to another trash area and saw a group of people hanging out there. Joe said hello to them. "Hi, have you eaten yet? Go away, bastard. Don't you see how thin I am now? Go away." Joe found those people stupid. So he came to the hospital and checked his health. But the hospital's name was Skew, which made him feel bad. Expectedly, this hospital looked like an amusement park. The way he got the number also confused him. They chose the animated sign based on the patient's appearance. Joe was arranged to have his health checked. The doctor took 3 pipes out. "Put this in your mouth, this one goes in your ears, and this one goes in your butt." When Joe already followed what he said. "Oops, hang on a second. Let's start again. The one you just put in your butt now put in your mouth." These actions made Joe dumbfounded. After he's finished, he came to a basin to wash his mouth. But the water was green. At that time, he saw a newspaper. It said it was already 2505. He's been hibernating for 500 years. After getting out of the hospital, he came to a vending machine. But 2 people suddenly appeared. "This man doesn't look like he's a good person." "Me? I'm a good person." "Alright, he already admitted, go get him. Let's kill him immediately." Joe was taken to court. The judge was also a low IQ person. Joe was allowed to hire a lawyer. Not anyone else, but Frito, who learned 1 + 1 is equal to 3 at home. Frito did not only defend Joe, but also accused Joe of a crime with the opponent's lawyer. Everybody laughed a lot at the court. Joe couldn't explain anything. Finally, he was sent to jail for 10,000 years. This man has been hibernating for 500 years. After waking up, he found the earth looked like the end of the world. A broken building was tied with a rope. People still drove on a broken bridge. It turned out that except for this protagonist Joe, everybody had a low IQ. But then he got put in prison by these low IQ people. For 10,000 years. The day that he went to prison, he was asked to take a mental test. The topic was, if a pig fights against another pig, who will win? He carefully answered, a pig. The answer was right. When knowing that he was the only one who answered it right, he realized that everybody in the world had a low IQ. Therefore, as soon as he went to prison, he thought about escaping. He told the warden, "Excuse me, I'm actually supposed to be getting out." Oh, the warder seemed to just wake up. Then let Joe out. Joe ran straight to the door. Now the warder realized, someone escaped from prison. After that, Joe came to Frito's. He told Frito that, "You have to listen to me, otherwise, you'll die tomorrow." Frito was threatened that he cried. Joe learned from Frito that the earth then had a time machine. After knowing this, Joe immediately looked for it with Frito. He wanted to use the time machine to come back to when people were still normal. On the way, he found Rita, who hibernated with him. Because Joe escaped from jail, so he got chased by the police. Their car was too slow, so they got off and ran away. When they've not run so far. Oh shit. Yeah. What's wrong with you? It's your car. Come on. Let's get out of here. But they lost each other on the way. Joe was caught once again. But this time he was not taken to prison, but the presidential palace. Since Joe answered the pig fighting question right, his superior IQ was appreciated by the president. Joe met a lot of officers. The head of the Department of Natural Resources was a child. The Minister of the Department of Justice was a girl. The Minister of the Department of Defense was a fat guy. The Minister of the Department of Education and Training was this bald guy. The President was the boxing champion. The President didn't find Joe normal when he first met Joe. So he appointed Joe as the political minister immediately. He even opened a national conference to tell everybody that Joe will solve the problem of why crops are not growing. Joe had to accept in the applause of everybody. After that, he secretly told Frito to draw a map to find the time machine. When they came to the field to find out the reason why crops didn't grow, Joe took advantage of his position to bring Rita. When people didn't pay attention, they both ran away. When he opened the map under the tree, damn it, quickly they got caught. When crossing the field, Joe suddenly found out that people watered the plants with soft drink. How stupid people in this world were. They used soft drink to water crops which stopped them from growing. But we can't blame them. If we want to blame, let's blame the dishonest drinking water company. They missed the water treatment plant and advertised that the water was just only used for flushing the toilet. So they replaced it with soft drinks. Newborn baby even had to drink soft drink instead of milk. Joe was trying to explain that crops needed water, not soft drink. But they assumed that Joe had a mental disorder. After a few hours, Joe gave up. He went back to the field and told them that he could talk to the crops. The crops said they were thirsty to death and they needed water. However, they believed him. From then on, water became the main supply for irrigation of agricultural crops. Not long after, as the soil was destroyed by soft drink, so nothing grew on the field after a while. This also made the consumption of soft drink decreased significantly and made many people lose their jobs. Everybody claimed that Joe was a scammer, so they put him in jail again. This time, the warder has resolved Joe's escaping problem. It was to tie him with a big rock. It looked like he was not that stupid. Because of being a serious criminal, he was taken to a gladiatorial combat. He needed to beat 3 tanks up here. If he won, he would be set free. But all he had were a small car and a huge rock. It was not different from gunning himself. Why there were just only 2 tanks? Oh, the biggest one got stuck because it was too big for the door. Even so, his winning rate was still really low. Besides, Rita suddenly found out that the crops that were irrigated have grown. So she went to the battle with Frito. On the way, she saw a lot of crops growing in the field. In the gladiatorial combat, the tanks started attacking. Joe was run over. The audience thought that he was about to die. But Joe's IQ was high till he made the tanks come to his place, and then used the rock to fly out of the car. After that, the 2 tanks crashed each other, which made the audience's laugh became smaller. Joe also thought that he won. But then there was a man crawling out from the ruin and shooting Joe non-stop. The audience got so excited. At that time, Rita arrived. She paid a photographer and told Frito to bring that photographer to the field and take some photos. After that, those photos with beautiful crops would be displayed on the screen. Quickly, they both arrived. But they forgot what to do there and started arguing in a weird way. Frito was mad, punching the photographer in the face. The camera was thrown away and fell into the field. Rita immediately showed the photos on the screen. Everyone was amazed after seeing that. It turned out that it was a mistake. When looking at Joe, who was about to be burned to death, the president came and saved him. Then he declared that Joe was innocent. The next day, Joe found the time machine. But this machine was a game in the game zone. It was even broken, so he couldn't come back to the past. Finally, he became the president and had 3 children with Rita. These 3 with high IQ would be the existence that changed human life. This is the end of the movie. Don't forget to follow us to watch other videos.